There we go. Hi friends, welcome back. I'm Svenja and today I'm going to share with you how to change the color of a specific area of your image, in this case my dress, using the color balance adjustment layer. In a previous video I talked about the hue saturation adjustment layer, and I'm going to leave that up here, the link for you, so that you can check it out as well. If you do any kind of composite work like myself, you will be able to blend a lot of different elements and images together into one final image. And being able to change the color is a very critical skill for that, because it needs to look like it's one image. So without further ado, grab your coffee and let's get started right away. This dress here, this is the original color. It's a midnight blue, almost has a little purplish tone to it. And I wonder what it would look like if it was red. This here is just the planets. They're on a separate layer, because if I had that all in one layer and I was going to change the color, the planets here would be affected because they would be in the portion of the image that I would want to change the color. So my mask layer right here, I'm going to show you again. This is just the dress. That's the only thing we're going to affect here. But this time I'm not going to choose the hue saturation layer. This time I'm going to choose the color balance layer. Now the nice thing about color balance is that it lets you adjust the highlights, the shadows, and the midtones individually. It's by default set to midtones. I'm just going to switch my layer mask. I'm going to press the Option key while dragging the layer mask up into my color balance layer, so that we're not going to affect the entire image, because I don't want to do a global adjustment. I just want to target the dress. Let's just set that back to 0. This dress here, when you look at it, it has a lot of shadows and it has a lot of highlights. That's why I don't want to adjust the midtones, which is the default here. I want to go into the shadows and I want to make the dress more red. So I'm going to push it towards the red slider, away from the cyan. So the color balance, it presents the options basically in the 3 color channels that you see here, and they're presented with their complementary colors. So cyan and red, magenta and green, and yellow and blue. And you basically add a color, like here I'm adding the red, by taking away the cyan. And right now I'm doing that for the shadows. So I'm gonna push that up, maybe a little bit further down. And then I'm gonna check out my next slider. I don't really want green in here. Like, this would make it look brown, and I don't want that. I want it more on the red. But I also don't want to go too intense here. I don't want to have a pink, so I'm just gonna use ever so slightly. And we see that there's a lot of like blue still here, so what we're gonna want to do is take away some blue and add yellow. And I'm just doing this as is pleasing to my eyes, so you can play around and have fun with that and see what you want to do. I think I'm gonna leave it right here. So now I have a really intense, nice overall red. And the next thing I want to do is, one more thing here. You want to make sure that preserve luminosity is checked. What this means is it preserves the brightness and the contrast of the tones while the color is being changed. If I took that off, it looks much duller. So we want to make sure that that is there. Now we're going to go into the highlights. And I think I want the highlights to be like sparkly. Let me just move that over, the planets. Otherwise, see what happened before I changed the color? The planets were getting all orangey, and that doesn't match with what's here. So I just need to move these up here. Otherwise, their color will be changed. And that change made it less orange. This is what we want. This is good. Okay, back to the color balance layer. I don't want to do anything in the midtones, but I want to play with the highlights. So I still want to add more red to the highlights. So I'm just gonna see what it does when I push more red into them. Maybe here. Yeah, that's good. And then I want to take away blue from the highlights. I want it warm. Let's see what this does right here. And now I feel like it's too magenta. I want this to be like the color of the sparks here, because she is symbolizing the spark. I'm gonna add green to it. See what it does? It gives a really nice fiery effect. So I think I'm gonna leave that here, zoom out a little bit, see what it looks like. I know she's really like the center of attention. I might think that it's a little bit too intense, and I might adjust that by just reducing the opacity of it, maybe to so. But yeah, this is another great way to adjust color with Photoshop. Well, my friend, this concludes the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this tutorial is making your life easier because you know what to do to change the color of an image fairly quickly and easily. If you found it helpful, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. All these things help me to reach more people on YouTube, and I would love to be able to help a lot of people to up their editing game. So this is it from my side. I wish you a fabulous week until I see you again. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.